school history, the Gonzaga Bulldogs play a home game as the #1 ranked team in the nation. And moments ago, the Zags took the floor as tonight they try to keep their undefeated season alive against the Santa Clara Broncos. Welcome inside the McCarthy Athletic Center alongside Malcolm Huckabee. I'm Eric Rothman, and Malcolm, this is a fan base that has waited a while for this team to be #1.
These students were camped out last night in the snow, put up the tents. They are ready to go. What a great atmosphere. This place is rocking right now.
23-0. We know the Zags are #1. The question, Malcolm, is why are they #1?
It starts on the defensive end for Gonzaga. They are one of the top defensive clubs in all of college basketball right now. Second in college, holding opponents to 37% from the field. They do an excellent job also defending the three-point line. And then, oh, by the way, they have a 7'1" center, Shemek Karnowski, shooting 70% from the floor. They have great balance on offense to go along with stifling defense.
Big news even before this game gets underway. We found out minutes ago Nigel Williams-Goss will not start for the first time this season. He rolled an ankle 2 nights ago on the road in the win against BYU. Silas Melson will get the start. Malcolm, we're not sure how much we're going to see Nigel Williams-Goss tonight.
Yeah, he was hobbling around today at shoot-around. He did not do anything, really limited. Shot a couple of free throws, but that's the luxury that Coach Mark Few has because of their balance on offense. Coming into this game, 6 players averaging 9 points or more. They have plenty of capable scorers to pick up the slack for Nigel Williams-Goss.
And Melson comes in as a starter. He's second in the conference, shooting just under 50% from three-point land, although no coach would ever want to go without a guy like Nigel Williams-Goss, arguably the conference player of the year in the last 3 games, averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. We will wait and see how much we see Nigel Williams-Goss tonight. It's Gonzaga in the white, Santa Clara, the Broncos in the black. Gonzaga has not trailed in the last 264 minutes of gameplay.
Well, this is the key matchup tonight, how they defend Karnowski down low in the block. He had a big game the last time these two teams met.
Matthews keeps the streak alive, 13 straight halves, Malcolm, without being down a point.
Well, Gonzaga is so tough to defend as we take a look at a nice post-entry pass, and we talked about it on the top. What Santa Clara needs to do to pull off the upset, they're going to have to shoot lights out from the floor, but more importantly from the three-point line.
Emmanuel Ndumanya gets the first bucket of the night for the Broncos. Here's Shemek Karnowski shooting 70% in conference play this season, and he traveled. Coach Mark Few for the Gonzaga Bulldogs in his 18th season with the Zags. He's taken them to the NCAA tournament every year since becoming head coach, in 18 straight 20-win seasons for this program. And now the Santa Clara Broncos, a chance to snap the streak that Gonzaga has. They might have to wait another possession as Ndumanya traveled.
Well, surprising turnover. Santa Clara, one of the better teams in all of college basketball. Only 10 turnovers per game, and that's certainly something they can ill afford to have happen on the road at Gonzaga.
Josh Perkins playing the point guard position. He's done so well in his time here with Gonzaga. Just behind teammate Silas Melson in terms of three-point shooting in the conference. They get it inside. It's Shemek Karnowski. Again, an easy bucket.
Yeah, that's just too easy. They're going to have to think about doubling, but the problem, the Zags have three-point shooters all around the perimeter.
The Broncos continue to go inside, even though we anticipated them making more of a perimeter contest out of this one. And Ndumanya missing the bucket. Here's Jonathan Williams. Missing with the left.
Here we go, Bulldogs, here we go.
KJ Fagan at the point, missed 12 games with a broken bone in his foot. Coach Herb Sendek very happy to have him back, a leader at the guard position. Nate Cratch reigns in the 3, and that officially ends the streak.
Well, speaking with Coach Mark Few, that's one of the stats that they track. Defending the three-point line, that's something they take pride in. You can't give up open airspace to Santa Clara. We talked about it coming into this game. They average close to 10 threes made per game. That's a wide open look right there.
Herb Sendek in his first season with Santa Clara, but 23 years as a head coach in the NCAA, Arizona State, NC State, Miami of Ohio. He's excited to be with this program.
Yeah, and you talked about some of the great coaching hires in this West Coast Conference. I'll tell you what, he is one of them, a guy that's been around, and we had a good chuckle. He recruited me when he was an assistant coach at Providence.
Didn't quite get you, though.
Yeah, he did, but tell you how long he's been around this game, and certainly an excellent hire, and he's looking forward to getting this Santa Clara program going in the right direction.
So the streak ends just over 266 straight minutes that the Gonzaga Bulldogs led in over 13 halves of straight basketball. A couple early fouls now for Santa Clara. That's something they can't afford. They only have a bench of about 7-8 deep.
Well, they do, but, you know, talk about all the upsets that happened in college basketball today. Nigel Williams-Goss, the best player for Gonzaga on the bench, really hobbled by an ankle. Well, let's watch out. Santa Clara really has what you need, three-point shooters to pull off the upset.
Williams elevating, throwing it down, and maybe a new streak begins for the Zags.
My goodness, a little jab step, freeze them, and then go up and finish with authority.
Williams averaging 10.6 boards this season. Fagan knocks down another three. That's how Santa Clara wants to play.
Coach Few cannot be happy right now with the three-point defense. They are not defending the three-point line, and you know that's a scouting report. Anytime you play against Santa Clara, you must chase them off the three-point line.
Traveling violation and a turnover on the Zags.
Right here, we're going to take a look at Jonathan Williams. Poor help side defense, finished with authority. His elbows are in the rim right there. My goodness, showing off some hops.
Hauser probing with 20 on the shot clock for the Broncos. Fagan at the elbow. Karnowski a rebound. He averages just over 6 of those per game.
And Gonzaga, really good defensive rebounding club, one of the best in all of college basketball. They really limit you to one opportunity on the offensive end.
6 on the shot clock for Williams. Backs it out, looks around, no help coming. Up top to Matthews with 1 to shoot, and they fouled him. Hauser bails out Gonzaga with a foul beyond the arc, so Matthews will go to the free throw line when we return. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Upset Saturday. #1 teams falling left and right. We'll break it down right after this. Nation and Malcolm, today, Upset Saturday, a day that a lot of top 10 teams would like to forget.
Oh my goodness, I mean, upsets all over the place. You look at some of these scores, Syracuse knocking off Virginia. Iowa State, I think that's the shocker right there. Kansas losing to Iowa State. And in West Virginia, Oklahoma State, you could take your pick, but my goodness, it was not a good day for ranked teams.
And as we speak, Florida on top big against Kentucky, so could be another top 10 team going down today.
Well, back to this game right here, I think one of the key elements of not having Nigel Williams-Goss on the floor is his defense. Right now, he leads the team with 39 steals. He's an excellent on-ball defender, in particular in pick-and-roll situations, so certainly missing him on the defensive end as well, too.
I remind you, Nigel Williams-Goss rolled an ankle the other night against BYU, limited in practice the past day and a half, and not starting for the first time this season. Had started 23 straight games for the Zags, so a guy like this, Jordan Matthews, at the free throw line now, maybe a chance for him to step up on the offensive end.
Yeah, and again, we talked about this, the balance that they have. They have 6 or 7 guys that are very capable of putting up some big offensive numbers.
Eric Rothman, Malcolm Huckabee here with you in Spokane. As the Gonzaga Bulldogs generate a turnover, good hands by Matthews. Perkins thought about the 3, now pulls the trigger.
Coach Few not happy with that offensive possession. No passes, really a contested 3 deep.
Santa Clara's got it inside pretty consistently to Emmanuel Ndumanya. Are you surprised that they're probing him this early in the game?
Oh, absolutely, but right now that is working for them. That's a nice back-to-the-basket move by Ndumanya, and really an easy spin move and then finish off the glass. And they continue to milk that. Take a look right here. No double coming, just back Karnowski down, and that's a big boy move right there. Really not much resistance whatsoever.
And Demania picks up the foul on the other end. He averages just 4 points per game. He's already got 4 here in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, originally from Nigeria, and a guy that has not been playing ball for a very long time. So, again, great size and showing off some nice low post moves early on in this game.
Santa Clara in some foul trouble already. They've committed 4 fouls as a team. Gonzaga has not been whistled yet. Good defense by Karnowski on the little guy, Fagan. And it's Perkins with the swipe.
That's a nice closeout that time by Hauser on the three-point shooter.
Karnowski inside, up with 2 hands and in.
The Zags are so good distributing the ball. That time, excellent ball movement, which led to a easy deuce for the big fella.
Both teams shooting very well here. That's the first missed three-pointer of the night for the Broncos. Karnowski draws the double yet again, patiently waiting as Ndamania strips the basketball. Hauser one-on-one with Nelson, and Nelson wins the battle. Nice feed inside. Matthews with the assist to Karnowski.
And that's twice now they've been able to find Karnowski underneath the basket. That's a beautiful no-look pass underneath the basket. It was on point and on time.
Karnowski has half of Gonzaga's 12 points here, almost 7 minutes into this game. Back to Ndamania. They double team him, and a held ball will stay with the Broncos.
We're going to take a look at some good ball movement. This is all set up by the spacing by Gonzaga. You have to respect their three-point shooters, and this is just too easy right here. Karnowski finishing.
These two teams played on January 19th. Gonzaga winning 88-57 in that game. Karnowski had 19 points. When we talked to Coach Herb Sendek for Santa Clara, he said, we were thrown off by the pressure that they put on our guards. It seems like to counteract that tonight, they've gone inside.
Yeah, and they've done a good job. Now, again, obviously, the Zags without their best player, Nigel Williams-Goss. We talked about that, but I think they're going to miss him more, Williams-Goss, on the defensive side. He's the guy that sets the tone on the defensive end for Gonzaga.
Ball loose, good hands by Gonzaga. And it will be a loose ball foul on Santa Clara. But we continue to see that pressure that Coach Sendek talked about, the guards getting in the passing lanes for Gonzaga.
And there's a reason why they're third in college basketball, holding opponents to 37% from the floor. They really make it difficult for you to run your offense, and it starts with the guard pressure.
Perkins on the ISO against Fagan. Zach Collins, the freshman, just checking into the game. Good defense underneath by Jaderstein. Should have been a whistle for a kick ball. Play continues, and it leads to a 3 for Santa Clara.
Well, it's a fortunate break that time, which went the way for Santa Clara. You're right, it should have been a kick ball. It winds up in the hands of a wide-open shooter again for Santa Clara.
Quick attack. Collins has his shot lip out. Three-pointers in 4 attempts so far for the Broncos, giving them a 1-point lead with 12 minutes to play in the first half. They average making just under 10 three-pointers per game. That's best in the West Coast Conference. And a hand check foul will send us to a timeout. Brian Alberts picks up the personal, but the #1 team in the country having some trouble at home against Santa Clara. Just over 8 minutes into this one here in Spokane, Washington. #1 Gonzaga trailing Santa Clara by 1. And Malcolm, the backcourt production for Santa Clara knocking down some threes here early.
Yeah, they've been impressive early on in this game, and they're led by one of the premier scorers in the West Coast Conference, Jared Brownridge. He's a guy that averages close to 4 threes made per game, 18 points per game coming into this one. And we talked about it, what Santa Clara need to do to win on the road here and pull off the upset. Shoot lights out from the three-point line. Right now, early on, they're at 75%.
Maybe what's even more impressive is they're up by 1, and Brownridge doesn't have a single point yet.
Well, we thought that was going to be the key matchup, but they've also gone down low as well, too. So they've thrown a little bit of a curve, just like it was for us, not having Nigel Williams-Goss in this game for the Zags.
Nigel Williams-Goss not officially out, but he has not played in this game yet. Brownridge, the 6th all-time leading scorer in the West Coast Conference, needs 11 tonight to move into 5th all-time.
Nice hedge on the ball screen that time.
10 on the shot clock. 4 to shoot for Hauser. And the corner 3 is good. Another one, this time by Brownridge.
Well, surprising right now, Gonzaga not closing out on the three-point shooters. We talked about it coming into this game, one of the best in the country.
Collins contested by Jaderston, and Collins will go to the line.
We're going to take another look at the Santa Clara offense. They've been patient. They spread the Zags out, and then right here, that's not really a bad closeout, but Brownridge, again, you have to get up on him. He's a guy, we talked about it, averaging close to 4 threes made per game, and big one in the corner right there for Santa Clara.
The freshman Collins struggled a little bit offensively on Thursday against BYU. Overall this season, 11 points on average, and he's a guy that Coach Few can go to when they want to give some minutes on the bench to the big man Karnowski.
Yeah, future very bright for this young man. Very active on the defensive end. We saw him do some nice things, hedging on the ball screens and recovering, and he's only going to get better. And Mark Few, one of the best in the business at developing players, both guards and bigs.
Another near 7-footer, Killian Tilly, is in the game for the Zags as well. Brownridge driving, big jump stop, 2 to shoot, 1 on the shot clock, gets rid of it, but it'll be a violation.
Well, that's great defense by Gonzaga. And again, we talked about them, one of the better defensive clubs in college basketball. But on the other end, if you're Santa Clara and you're going to have a possession like that, you don't mind that. You use a lot of clock, and it did not result in a transition bucket for the Zags.
Alberts, bench player making an impact for the Zags. Gonzaga on top by 1 after their first three-pointer of the night by redshirt sophomore Brian Alberts. Good idea for the backdoor cut. Brownridge had to hit the deck to get it, and a held ball, possession arrow in favor of the Zags.
Again, we're seeing that good Gonzaga defense closing down the passing angle. It was a good idea, but the pass was just not there. And turnover again for Santa Clara.
It's the 6th turnover of the night so far on Santa Clara. In the past 2 games combined, they've only had 13, so half of that already halfway through the first half tonight.
Yeah, give the credit to the Zags defense again. And if you're Santa Clara, you're going to have to not turn the ball over.
7 on the shot clock. Matthews feeds it inside to the big man Collins. Face-up jumper is good for the freshman Zach Collins out of Las Vegas.
He is an impressive-looking player. That's a beautiful, just face him up, raise up over him.
Hauser high off the glass, interrupted by Collins. Tilly pushing it for Gonzaga. Alberts will try his hand again, missing the 3. Offensive rebound, but a whistle will go against Santa Clara.
Collins continues to be active on the offensive glass. And right here, we're going to take a look at this. Is just beautiful offense. Face him up, raise up. He's got great length, and that's nice touch for the big fella.
4 points early for Collins, who's only been on the floor for 4 minutes. Gonzaga, their bench between Collins and Alberts, combining for 7 points. A short bench as it is for Santa Clara. They usually only run 7 or 8 deep. Alberts again, same spot. Missed his last 2.
And that's a nice block out by Santa Clara, keeping Gonzaga off the offensive glass.
Wardlow off the curl. Ball batted up and rebounded by Alberts.
Santa Clara is getting some good looks. Can't ask for a better shot that time coming off a curl.
Matthews is fading away, and another loose ball foul underneath will go against Santa Clara. That's their 7th team foul already here in the first.
This was a concern coming into this game, speaking with Coach Sendek. Defensive rebounding, in particular Collins and Karnowski, they do an excellent job crashing the offensive glass.
And they just don't have the bodies to withstand foul trouble.
No, short bench.
Collins at the free throw line, where he's a 78% free throw shooter in his rookie year. He misses that one. Gonzaga in the bonus. Collins can't convert. They are up by 3, under 8.5 minutes to play here in the first. In the middle of a 7-0 Gonzaga run. Good defense by Collins on Jaderston, who couldn't get the roll. Pick and pop, Tilly from 18 feet.
Nobody on the offensive glass that time for Gonzaga. Again, another excellent job by Santa Clara, boxing out.
We have a whistle. Stops play with 7.5 to play. Gonzaga, it's a lead, maybe not as big as their fans would like it to be at this point in the game. The Zags up by 3 on visiting Santa Clara. Gonzaga on top by 3 here at home. The first game at home as the #1 team in the country. Under 8 minutes to play here in the first. And we remind you to start your Super Bowl Sunday with our next NBA Sunday Showcase game. Presented by Verizon Go 90. It's Blake Griffin and the Clippers in Boston to take on Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics. That's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown with Sage and Jalen at 1:30 and is streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Eric Rothman, Malcolm Huckabee back here with you at the McCarthy Athletic Center in Spokane, Washington. That man right there, Shemek Karnowski for Gonzaga. We knew coming into this one that that was something that Coach Herb Sendek wanted to key in on. Front court production by the Zags. And yet, already in this one, his 2 big men, Jaderston and Enumanya, 3 fouls, 2 fouls respectively. Tough to go up against Karnowski with foul trouble.
Yeah, it is, and that's the problem area for them, and that was a problem in the last meeting between these 2 clubs. They really had no answer for Shemek Karnowski.
Goes up with the left hand that time. He's got 8 points.
And that's just too easy, and the problem when you play against Gonzaga is if you double off of him, they have 3-point shooters that are going to knock down shots, so you have to pick your poison. Right now, though, that's just too easy for Karnowski down low in the block.
9-0 run for Gonzaga, a 4-minute scoring drought for Santa Clara. Broncos have stayed in this one with their 3-point shooting. They've made 4 of 5. But Jordan Brownridge, their leading scorer, with just 3 points so far. They need some more production out of him. Here is Brownridge, left-hand dribble underneath. Good find to his teammate Fagan, but they ran out of time. Shot clock violation.
Well, that has been the problem for Santa Clara. They've shot the ball well from the three-point line, but right now, Gonzaga has 9 points off of turnovers by Santa Clara. They have to stop turning the ball over and get more possessions on the offensive side.
8 turnovers by the Broncos, as well as 8 fouls as a team. Make it 9. Karnowski to the line. And that's Jaderston's 4th foul.
Well, a lot of that, and they worked on this today at shoot-around, the guards have to check Karnowski when he's passing through the lane, trying to establish post position, chip him down. But right now, he's catching the ball 2 feet, really underneath the basket. Anytime you let him catch the ball that deep in the post, you're either going to have to foul him or he's going to have an easy deuce.
Karnowski is also perfect from the floor. 4 for 4. That free throw, anything but perfect, but that's okay. Karnowski this season, 61% from the line. You see that wrap he has on the right thumb of his hand, and he jammed it in the game against BYU, and it's pretty black and blue. We looked at it before the game. He's really not able to bend it that much. You see him working with that left more predominantly.
Yeah, was afraid to even try to shake either hand. Looked at the size of that right hand. Certainly, you know, he's such an important piece to what they do, in particular down low in the block on the offensive side, and he's the anchor to that defense.
Jaderston takes a seat with the 4th personal foul. Jonathan Williams picks up a foul before the inbound for Gonzaga. Seven to shoot. Santa Clara taking a lot of time on each possession. 1 on the shot clock. Fagan from the free throw line is good.
That's a good offensive possession by Santa Clara. Taking a page out of what St. Mary's does. Very deliberate in their offense. Taking a lot of time, as you said. Using up a lot of the shot clock.
Cratch with the rejection out of bounds. That bucket for Santa Clara ends a drought of over 4.5 minutes. But they're still in this game, even with that long drought.
Yeah, and you cut out the turnovers, and they might be up in this game.
Matthews too easy off the inbound. Matthews now the 2nd leading scorer for Gonzaga with 6 points. Hauser backs it out with 10 on the shot clock. Nowhere to go. He keeps it himself. Awkward shot. And a loose ball knocked out to Perkins. Tried to feed it inside to Williams, and a kick ball.
We're going to take a look at this inbound play right here. No communication by Santa Clara, and that's just too easy. Nobody picked up the ball. That's really on the big right there. He's got to step out, hedge, and slow down the ball.
Perkins clanks the 3. Gonzaga just 1 for 6 from 3-point range. Brownridge, head fake and go, dumps it off Edumanya, and he'll go to the line.
Early in this game, I've been impressed when Santa Clara has not turned the ball over at how patient they've been on the offensive end. And I did the St. Mary's game here against Gonzaga, and that's something that St. Mary's likes to do. Slow the game down. Their pace of play is very slow, and I think a lot of teams are going to try to do that when they play against the Zags, the teams that's averaging 85 points per game. Slow it down, get fewer possessions, and obviously try to knock down some threes.
Edumanya, just a 52% free throw shooter on the season. Thursday, North Carolina and Duke. What a battle that will be. 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN as Edumanya misses the back end. low-scoring affair so far in this one for a team in Gonzaga that averages over 80 points per game. Williams with the dump-off and the assist from his 7-footer, Karnowski.
Unselfish play, and Karnowski, a very good passer, out of the double team. That time, finding it wide open. Williams for a dunk.
Cratch missing the 3 on the other end. There's one of the quicker possessions we've seen on the night by Santa Clara. Perkins with the left, count it, and one.
Gonzaga continues to get some high percentage shots right here. They do the double Karnowski, unselfish, the rotation is not there, and then this is just a beautiful move and one situation.
Hauser now picks up his 3rd foul. So both players that have come off the bench for Coach Sendek, Jaderston and Hauser, the 2 bench players we've seen so far, one with 4 fouls, one with 3. It's going to be up to the starters for the remainder of the first half for Santa Clara. Good hands by Perkins as he slides out of bounds trying to save it.
We'll see some good interior passing. Karnowski to Williams with the flush. Gonzaga up 28-19.
Back in Spokane, Gonzaga on a 16-3 run right now here in front of a raucous crowd at the McCarthy Athletic Center. They're on top of Santa Clara 28-19. Eric Croftman, Malcolm Huckabee back with you with just under 4 minutes to play here in the opening half. And Malcolm, it can't be stated enough, we have yet to see Nigel Williams-Goss, who injured an ankle on Thursday night against BYU.
Well, a big reason why Gonzaga is #1 in the country is because of their balance on the offensive end. They have 6 players that average 9 or more. 4 of those average 10 points or more. So, again, they have great balance and more than enough guys to pick up the slack when Nigel Williams-Goss is not on the court.
Brownridge stepped back for 3. Brownridge has had a tough evening so far. Just 1 of 3 from the floor. Undefeated Gonzaga, first time in program history playing a home game as #1 in the nation. As they commit a traveling violation, Jonathan Williams, too many steps.
I think this is a big possession for Santa Clara. Again, right now, 3:21 to go in this first half. You certainly do not want to go into the half down double digits, so you want to keep this thing within striking distance. They need a good offensive possession right here.
Especially against a team like Gonzaga, who can make a lead unreachable in a moment's notice. Warlow, good ball fake. Had a good look at it.
That's a great rebound by Zach Collins.
Matthews run out for 3. Tip follow not there for Williams. Collins got smacked in the head. He's trailing the play. And Demanya spinning, rejected by Collins. And Demanya gets it back. Ball loose. 12 on the shot clock for Santa Clara. And a bump on the floor, no basket.
Take a look at some good interior defense. Zach Collins, again, using his length. He's been very active on both ends of the court thus far in the first half.
Now we have another whistle, as Perkins was called just before the inbound for his first personal. And now Jordan Matthews is called for his first. Fresh shot clock for Santa Clara. Nowhere to go, dumps it off, and Demanya, met by Collins, loose ball, and Perkins has it for the Zags. Under 2 minutes to play now here in the opening half. Collins steps out for three. And for a big man, he can shoot those threes, just over 33% from the three-point arc this season.
Well, he's been the most impressive player in this first half. Defensively, he's been solid, but offensively, he's gone inside, and that time stepping out, showing off some three-point range.
He's got 7 points here in the opening half. Brownridge got bumped, and he will go to the free throw line to shoot three as Williams picks up the personal.
Zach Collins, right now, to me, the future is so bright for this young man. He can do a little bit of everything. That time, pick and pop for the three-pointer. He's an excellent low-post defender. We've already seen him come up with a couple of blocks, but I think that's what makes him special, his ability to step away from the rim. He's going to create some matchup problems as he progresses in his career.
Brownridge at the free throw line, and folks, rivalry week starts Monday on ESPN with an ACC Big 12 doubleheader. It's number 6 Louisville and number 9 Virginia at 7 Eastern. Then at 9, it's the Sunflower Showdown between number 3 Kansas and Kansas State. Big Monday presented by eBay on ESPN, also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Brownridge at the line right now. One of the premier scorers in conference history. Over 2,100 points. A guy that can fill it up from beyond the arc. And we keyed on him. He was going to be a key matchup for the Zags tonight. They must keep him under control throughout this game.
Bench warning by the referees for the Gonzaga bench as they're up by 10. Killian Tilly and Jeremy Jones into the game for the Zags. Perkins, contested three, right in the face of KJ Fagan. Under a minute to play now in the first half. Santa Clara looking for a spark. Fagan weaving inside, got his own rebound, missed the putback, loose ball, Collins rips it away. Steal by Brownridge. Switches to his right for the finger roll. "30-second timeout on the floor with Gonzaga up by 11. Under 21 seconds to play here in the first half in Spokane. Ash, 23-0, not 230. Somebody went out for popcorn. They forgot to stand in for the dash.
Will you give them a break? They went out here last night in snow, freezing. Give them some break. My goodness.
Under 20 seconds to play in the half. Shot clock has been turned off. The final possession for the Zags. Up by 11 here at home. Their first game in front of these fans as the #1 team in the nation. Perkins, straightaway three, back-to-back from downtown. And the heave by Santa Clara is too late, but two big three-pointers at the end of the half by Perkins.
No Nigel Williams-Goss. Other guys picking up the slack. Josh Perkins beyond NBA range twice now to close out the first half. And that was a backbreaker for Santa Clara.
Halftime here in Spokane. Gonzaga 37, Santa Clara 23. Let's send it to Chris, Andy, and Mr. Davenport. Sean Farnham for the Land Rover halftime report. The #1 team in the nation, Gonzaga, on top of Santa Clara, 37-23 at the half. We welcome you back inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. And then we have the best seat in the house. Malcolm Huckabee, Eric Rothman. We are in front of the kennel here at the McCarthy Athletic Center. And Malcolm, Santa Clara was in it early, but then turnovers, foul troubles really did it in.
Yeah, they started off this game playing perfect. They're not shooting a bad percentage from the three-point line. They're over 40%. But as you said, the turnovers was the issue for them. Gonzaga doing an excellent job turning those turnovers into points. 11 points off of turnovers in that first half for the Zags.
We'll take a look at some highlights from the first half, and for Gonzaga, getting it inside early to the big guys Collins and Karnowski.
They can beat you in so many different ways. This is why I think they are a Final Four team and a potential national champion. This guy right here is going to be a matchup nightmare. You saw the low post move, but he also has the ability to step out on the perimeter and knock down jumpers. And then this guy right here, Josh Perkins, picking up the slack for Nigel Williams-Goss, who's unable to go in this game. He closed out the half with 2 NBA range threes contested to really blow this thing open.
Perkins had 9 of Gonzaga's last 12 points of the half, and you see Gonzaga shooting over 50% from the floor.
It was an impressive performance for them to close out the half. And again, going back to the Zags, it starts with their defense. They are one of the best defensive clubs in all of college basketball. You look at the percentages in that first half for Santa Clara, they shot 34% from the floor.
Saw the bench numbers as well, 10-0 in favor of Gonzaga. Big reason why. First of all, Santa Clara has a short bench to begin with, only 2 guys coming off the bench for Coach Sendek. Those 2 guys, though, Jaderston and Hauser, 4 fouls, 3 fouls respectively, no points between them. Santa Clara starts things off. They'd love to get Jared Brownridge going, just 4 field goal attempts in that first half. 7 points for him, a guy who averages 19 points on the season, number 6 all-time in West Coast Conference scoring. And he gets that one to go. A good start for Santa Clara.
Well, let's see if they can be consistent in this second half. Remember, they started off that first half hot, and they must cut down on the turnovers.
Gonzaga undefeated at 23-0. Santa Clara fighting for 3rd place in the West Coast Conference with BYU. St. Mary's is in front of them as well. Matthews muscles it up. And I know the fans at St. Mary's are excited because College Game Day is coming their way next weekend when Gonzaga travels to Moraga for that big battle.
How about this atmosphere right here?
Absolutely.
One of the best venues in all of college basketball. And right now, looking at one of the best teams in college basketball.
The best or one of the best?
Right now, I'm going to say they're the best. Again, I think the big reason because of their balance. They can beat you in so many different ways. They have 2 7-footers that can knock down shots, not only from down low in the block, but step out on the perimeter. And then their backcourt. Their backcourt is very good. We see Josh Perkins closing out this first half. And Nigel Williams-Goss, for me, when he's on the court, he is one of the best, if not the best lead guard in all of college basketball.
It doesn't hurt that 6 top 10 teams went down today. The most ever, tied for the most ever. Kentucky losing to Florida is the latest. That's Gonzaga, the last remaining undefeated team, and tonight they've got a 14-point margin without their leader, Nigel Williams-Goss, who injured his ankle against BYU, did not start tonight and has not seen any action.
Certainly most teams and coaches would not like to see their best player on the bench. But that balance for the Zags, they have more than enough capable scorers and defenders left out on the court.
AJ Fagan missing the 3. Matthews responds on the other end with a 3 of his own. $11 points now for Matthews, leading scorer in this one. Brownridge, good answer.
We said in order for Santa Clara to pull off the upset, they're going to have to double their season average. It's close to 10 threes made per game. And right now they only have 5.
Loose ball out of bounds. Perkins will inbound for Gonzaga. 5 of 9 from 3-point range for Santa Clara. They made 3 of their first 4. Big reason why it was close in the first 10 minutes of the first half. Perkins lobbing Karnowski off the glass and
in. Well, it's just beautiful basketball, and they're all unselfish. We talked about that balance scoring, and that's just a beautiful find for the big unselfish play.
Karnowski now the second Bulldog in double figures with 10 points. Fagan at the free throw line, and Fagan's had himself a nice night, now up to 10 points on his own.
Here we go, Bulldogs!
reach-in foul will be on Endemania, and that will be his third.
We're going to take a look at some excellent spacing right here. Pick and roll. Nobody picks up the big, and that's just an easy dump-off pass, unselfish in. And the other X factor for Gonzaga, when you talk about them being the best team in all of college basketball, I think team chemistry. We talked about this. They really like playing together. They're an unselfish team.
Matthews with the hot hand, the leading scorer with 14.
And right on cue, unselfish basketball, making the extra pass to the corner to the hot hand of Matthews.
He is 4 of 6 from the floor tonight. Fagan fading away, got tipped by Williams and a shot clock violation.
Well, Matthews, a guy that's been struggling from the three-point line. Well, this is a good sign right here. Him knocking down perimeter jumpers. And again, just unselfish basketball. All these guys are willing and able passers. And that's what you want to see if you're a Gonzaga fan. Matthews knocking down jumpers from beyond the arc.
Hand check foul on the floor goes against Brownridge. Matthews with those 14 points. He's also tacked in 5 rebounds and 3 assists.
Well, they can beat you in so many different ways. They can go down low to Karnowski and Zach Collins. They can beat you on the perimeter. They also can generate points off of their defense, as we've seen in this game. There are really not too many holes in their game.
Perkins off balance, missing the 3. Perkins just 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. As Karnowski will pick up the foul, his second. And one thing that really doomed Santa Clara early in this game was their turnovers. They seem to have, at the end of that first half, turned that around a little bit. But even without the turnovers, they just don't seem to have the depth to be able to run with a team like Gonzaga.
Yeah, when we spoke with Coach Herb Sendek today after shoot-around, he said, look, we're going to have to play a perfect game. And they had a lot of opportunities missed. Really, some of those not even, the turnovers, yes, that was an issue, but they also had some open looks. And when you play on the road, anywhere, but in particular, it's the #1 team in the country, you're going to have to knock down shots, and you definitely can't turn the ball over.
Good cut and a slash by Nelson for the lay-in. Santa Clara now down by 18. We mentioned that lack of depth, really no fault of their own, as they've just dealt with injuries this season. Jarvis Pugh, Tony Lewis, both out for the season, about indefinitely with injuries. Hauser and Fagan have also missed time this season. Perkins gets fouled. He will go to the line after the timeout. The Zags, #1 in the nation, on top of Santa Clara by 18 here at home. #1 Gonzaga holding it down at home, up by 18 over the Santa Clara Broncos here. 15 minutes and change in the second half. We take a look at some scores around the West Coast Conference. St. Mary's absolutely steamrolling San Diego. Pepperdine on top of Pacific. BYU a win against Portland. And then in the second half, USF and LMU pretty tightly contested in that one. And the standings for the West Coast Conference: Gonzaga, St. Mary's, they'll meet next Saturday on College Game Day. Battling it out for tops in the conference, BYU, Santa Clara not too far behind, and San Francisco, a very young team with 13 underclassmen in 5th.
Well, certainly everybody has their eyes on that St. Mary's game. Obviously, you don't want to look past anybody else, but certainly on the road, game day is going to be there. That should be a very fun and wild environment.
Perkins at the free throw line before the break. Jared Brownridge picking up his 3rd foul.
And it's been a struggle, really, to begin this second half for Santa Clara, and give credit to Gonzaga. Really, making it difficult for them to get anything going on the offensive end. And then on the other end, offensively, they put on a clinic. They've gotten open look after open look, and really Santa Clara has not had any answer whatsoever for them.
Gonzaga shooting 55% from the floor. Eric Rothman, Malcolm Huckabee with you in Spokane. Gonzaga, the longest winning streak in program history, 23-0, looking to make it 24 at home. And Demanya and Karnowski jousting down low, and Karnowski will now pick up his third personal. Collins quickly checks back in for Karnowski. And over 2.5 minutes without a Santa Clara field goal. And it will stay that way. Josh Perkins went down awkwardly off the play, and he's limping around mid-court.
Looked like he got screened and ran in. It looked like he bumped knees.
See him hunched over there beyond the three-point line as Williams, the turnaround with the left. Perkins, he wants to come out. He's looking over at the bench. Coaches trying to determine if they need to take a timeout or wait till the next media timeout. Hauser still searching for his first points of the night. Lost it, and a turnover, the 9th on Santa Clara. Williams, big jump stop and a foul. Jonathan Williams will go to the line.
We're going to take a look and see where Josh Perkins collided. Let's see, he's coming off. And yeah, it looked like they banged knees, and then he landed. Looked like he to try to brace himself and landed awkwardly. Certainly not a sign you want to see, though, if you're Zag.
Especially with Nigel Williams-Goss already out with an injury. Gonzaga up top, 53-31. 31 against Santa Clara. Eric Rothman, Malcolm Huckabee with you in Spokane. And Malcolm, it's been not only a dominant second half so far for Gonzaga, but it's been a dominant season.
It really has, and I had a chance to speak with Joey Brackets this morning. And, you talk about some of their out-of-conference wins. You look at it, Florida beating Arizona, and then obviously in conference, St. Mary's, Iowa State, San Diego State. So again, you compare them to the other schools that are in that top 10, and they look favorably, and they get it done on the defensive end. I think it starts with Gonzaga on the defensive side.
And some of those non-conference wins you just mentioned looking even better today, with Florida beating Kentucky and Iowa State on the road against Kansas with the victory.
And I tell you what, a lot of people want to knock them for playing in the conference. So let's face it, there's really only historically been 3 or 4 teams that have been able to compete with them. But nobody wants to play Gonzaga, so I can tell you right now, there's a lot of teams that know, that have played them, that they are worthy of that overall #1 ranking.
Not letting up tonight in their first home game ever as #1. They were #1 in the nation in 2013, but that was at the end of the regular season, so they did not get any more home games to show off that ranking to the kennel. Jaderson is back in there with his 4 fouls. And Demanya also has 4 fouls as Santa Clara in the front court dealing with foul trouble. And a double dribble. 10th turnover for Santa Clara. I mentioned the foul trouble. There's Jaderson with his 4 fouls, and Demanya with 4. And in the backcourt, Hauser, Brownridge, each with 3.
Yeah, certainly not what you want on the road. And again, give a lot of credit to Gonzaga. They really just wear you down on the defensive end, make it so difficult for you to run your offense.
Collins swarmed underneath. Perkins coming off that knee injury, didn't miss any time after he banged knees before the last timeout. And Perkins will go to the free throw line. Malcolm, you talked all game long about the balance of this Gonzaga team. But is it even more impressive in a game like this, where their star, Nigel Williams-Goss, is not able to play, and yet guys like Perkins, Melson, Matthews in the backcourt come in, and they don't seem to miss a beat.
But it's just so impressive, and again, rarely in college today where you have teams that have the balance they have on the offensive end. Look at these numbers right here. I mean, you got 4 players in double digits and 2 others, really, you might as well call it 10 points per game, and it's just really something that's a luxury that Coach Mark Few has. And I also think the way they can beat you with their defense. They can go down low and play through their 2 bigs. They're obviously an excellent 3-point shooting team, and then they have a star and a closer in Nigel Williams-Goss, a guy that can put up 30 on you on any given night.
Not only that, but they've had 7 different players be leading scorers in a game this season, as Killian Tilly was behind the defense on that one, and it's been 4.5 minutes since our last Santa Clara field goal. Fagan on the curl ends the drought.
Score! Zag, score! Score! Zag, score!
The foul is going to be on Jaderston, I believe, underneath.
Just a beautiful pass again. Unselfish. The bigs running the floor and getting rewarded. It's just been an offensive clinic by the Zags in the second half.
And you hear the kettle singing. That is the end of Henrik Jaderston's night as he fouls out. 0 points, 5 fouls, 2 rebounds in just 7 minutes of action. He had 4 fouls in that first half, never really able to get going. Collins with 8, and I know you like Collins a lot. What kind of gets overlooked is how effective he is and how he does it in such limited minutes. Because they're so deep, he doesn't get on the floor for more than 17 minutes a game.
Well, he's efficient right now for the season. He's shooting 66% from the floor coming into this game. That is really phenomenal number. A guy shooting over 50, let alone 60%, and he does it in a couple of different ways. He's a good pick and pop player. He can go down low in the block with either hand, and more impressive is the defense that he's shown in this game tonight.
Absolutely. Leads the team in blocks as well as Collins gets the rebound. Collins has 6 of those tonight. Perkins, good crossover. Collins beats the double team after the feed from Matthews.
Collins does a nice job that time using his body to shield off the defender, go up strong and finish. And again, they just continue to execute to perfection on the offensive end.
Hauser dumps it inside to Fagan. Good defense by Collins, the switch man. 5 to shoot. Fagan lost it and a late whistle. Gonzaga on top 61-33 at home. The freshman, the run out for the dunk. Gonzaga on top. Today going up against UCLA. Malcolm, I know you want to see this matchup, Dylan Brooks and Lonzo Ball.
I cannot wait to watch this game. This is going to be a fun matchup. 2 of the best players in college basketball going at it, and that's going to be fun. Coast to coast, I like it.
How surprised were you to see 6 top 10 teams go down today?
Not surprised at all, and in particular when you get deeper into conference play, these teams know each other, and it's bound to happen. That's why it's so impressive what the Zags have done in this season, going undefeated thus far. And obviously everybody, this game's not over yet, but everybody has their calendar circled for that St. Mary's game. I think that is going to be the game. Watch out on the road. St. Mary's is a very good team. See what they did today, holding the opponent to 9 first half points.
Tilly with the slip and 1. And he will go to the line. Eric Rothman, Malcolm Huckabee with you in Spokane. As the freshman Tilly making the move, good feed by Alberts.
And it's just really been the story all night. Their offensive execution, the way they set screens, and I think an overlooked thing, we spoke to Mark Few about this today, team chemistry. I've never seen anything like it at shoot-around. It was loose. The guys really like being around each other. There really is that team chemistry there, that they all like each other. They're all unselfish. And I think it's a big difference on any team, at any level, and on any sport.
Hauser still searching for his first points of the night. Perkins, the kick out. He swings all the way around, but they say he went out of bounds and then was the first person to touch the ball after he came back in.
Well, they won't get credit for the bucket, but it was a beautiful offensive possession. And that's something that we've seen all night. They spread you out, and then they go for the high percentage shots every time, it seems like, on offense.
For Santa Clara tonight, Malcolm, we talked about obviously dealing with injuries. They don't have a very deep team, but they've only had really 2 scores. Fagan with 14 points, Brownridge with 13, 27 out of their 35 points coming from just 2 guys.
Yeah, and that's obviously the difference between these 2 teams. We talked about Gonzaga already with the balance, and right now it's just been 2 people trying to do the majority of the scoring for Santa Clara.
Killian Tilly, I think, just got a block with his back to his defender, to the guy he was guarding. That's pretty impressive. Tilly gets fouled on the other end.
Let's see if we can go back and see this block you're talking about here. Yeah, you're right. I don't think I've seen that.
With 2 hands, nonetheless. Killian Tilly getting some minutes now, 9 minutes off the bench, 5 points, and now at the free throw line. Missing the first one. Michael Smith, Jamel Hill want you to join them for the new 6 o'clock Sports Center on ESPN. They're bringing their own brand of style and personality, sports, music, movies, and more. The party starts Monday. And as always, the 6 is available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
We're going to have to check and see if that's ever been done. A guy blocking a shot with his back turned. I don't think that's... I've never seen that in a game. Have you?
You know what? He comes from a family of volleyball players. So sometimes you'll see volleyball players at the net trying to deke the players on the other side, but doing a little bit of a reverse spike. Maybe that's where he got it, from his dad, Laurent.
You're stretching now.
But try to come up with an explanation.
Well, that's definitely a first for me.
Perkins hits the 3, and Perkins, his 3rd three-point field goal of the night. Hauser just throws one up, and that's the first field goal of the game for Matt Hauser, who came in averaging 10 points per game this season.
Well, the combination of Josh Perkins and when Nigel Williams-Goss is on the floor, I would put them right up there with that Kansas backcourt. And I know they had the loss, but I've been saying for a long time Devontae Graham and Frank Mason of Kansas are, if not the best backcourt in college basketball. But I think I'm going to switch that after seeing Josh Perkins perform. Obviously, Nigel Williams-Goss is a star, a guy that can get you a bucket. But Josh Perkins, to me, is a big-time scorer.
Started every game last year as point guard for Gonzaga. Tonight, 2 assists away from a double-double. He's got 15 and 8 right now. Good defense by Alberts. Ball goes out of bounds.
Take a look at Perkins, and he's hit some deep threes in this game right here. This is just too easy. And yes, he's knocked down threes, but for me, what's been more impressive is his defensive intensity and pressure. He really is an excellent on-ball defender, makes it really difficult for opposing guards to dribble, penetrate, and again, I think that's a big reason why the Zags are #1. Their defense has been excellent all year.
One thing that impresses me as well about Perkins, we talked to Coach Few, and before Coach Few and Gonzaga decided to pursue Nigel Williams-Goss after he announced that he was going to transfer they went to Josh Perkins and they said, are you okay with this? This is going to mean less minutes for you. This is going to mean maybe not starting every game like you did last season. And he said, Coach, go for it. I can't wait to have Nigel Williams-Goss on this team. And according to everybody you talk to, those two have become closer than any other pair on this Gonzaga team.
Well, the first time I came out here, I did radio for ESPN, the St. Mary's game, and I was blown away by the shoot-around, how loose they were, how together they were. You can't fake that. You can't just say, hey, we're going to come in here and try to put on a show when the ESPN crew comes in here. And, you know, Coach Few talks about that, where the team chemistry, again, I think that's the X factor for that. There's no selfish play here. They all share it. And as you take a look right here, as a high-low, they weren't able to finish. But it's situations like that that they're all willing and able passers. And that's what makes them such a dangerous team to defend.
That was 2 7-footers running the high-low, by the way. With Collins passing inside to Karnowski. Nearing the 8-minute mark here in Spokane. The second half has been all Gonzaga. And Hausner has had a tough night. As a whistle underneath on the Zags, they'll say it's a foul on the floor. No, it is a shooting foul. So Karnowski gets called for the foul. That's his 4th. We talked about the Santa Clara injuries. When they've been healthy with this 3-man backcourt of Brownridge, Hauser, and Fagan, they're 7-2. The problem has been those guys have missed time with injury, and they just haven't had the consistency in their game this season.
Yeah, it's really an unfortunate situation and really a difficult situation with all the injuries that they've had. And to get any rhythm whatsoever.
Hauser trying his best, fading away. Nothing doing for him, and 1 of 7 from the floor tonight. Nelson holds up for a second midair and goes off the backboard and in. Nelson got the start tonight in place of Nigel Williams-Goss, who we have not seen in this one. Injured his ankle on Thursday against BYU. Not starting a game for the first time all season, so Nelson came in for his 4th start of the season.
And that's a heads-up play by Karnowski, stepping out and contesting the 3-point shot that time by Brownridge.
Karnowski dumps it off to Collins. Another assist for the big man. Collins with 13 points. There's 4 scorers for Gonzaga, double figures, led by Josh Perkins with 15. Fagan, tough shot up against Collins, goes in, and Fagan has been a bright spot tonight for Santa Clara with 16 points.
Yeah, he's done some nice things on both ends for them, and he continues to play, and that's what you want to see if you're Coach Herb Sendek. Continue to play even though you're in a difficult situation on the road.
Matthews, even up 35, not quitting, not stopping, and charging the rebound for the putback. Defense by Alberts. Tough bank shot for Fagan.
Well, I'm not sure how he got that one to go. He didn't call glass, I don't believe. It was excellent defense, but Fagan continues to impress on the offensive end for Santa Clara. As you said, the one lone bright spot for them tonight.
Offensive foul on Karnowski. That's going to do it for him. 5 fouls for Shemek Karnowski. He has fouled out 12 points, 6 rebounds in 19 minutes of action. He's out of this one, but just before his last foul, how about the feed to fellow big man Zach Collins inside? Karnowski, Collins, and the Zags up 76-43 here at home. Any doubt in in the minds of their home fans here as they are #1 in the nation and cruising over Santa Clara 76-43. Rivalry week starts Monday on ESPN with an ACC Big 12 doubleheader. It's #6 Louisville and #9 Virginia at 7 Eastern. Then at 9, it's the Sunflower Showdown between #3 Kansas and Kansas State. Big Monday presented by eBay on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Eric Ruffin, Malcolm Huckabee with you as we get more cowbell behind us. And Malcolm, we take a look at the AP Top 10. 6 teams losing today ties an all-time record for one-day losses by top 10 teams.
And I continue to believe we're going to see more of this to close out the college basketball season. But today, I believe, was one of those days that was not a good one for ranked teams.
Doesn't look like Gonzaga will be the 7th team to fall as they are dominating this one, although they will be without their senior big man, Shemek Karnowski, for the remainder of this one. He fouls out. Had a lot of foul trouble in this one, especially on the Santa Clara side of things. Henrik Jaderson fouled out. They have a couple of other players, one with 4 fouls, and Emmanuel Endemania. Jared Brownridge, their leading scorer, with 3. Big cheers from the kennel for Rui Hachimura, the freshman from Japan who is in the game, #21 in white for the Zags. Fan favorite here in Spokane.
Absolutely, and this fan base has not let up in this game as well either. Still standing, making noise.
Ball bopped around, and now a whistle as Collins was the last one to grab a hold of it. And it will be a foul on Santa Clara. So Shemek is out, 12 points. And he tacked on 6 rebounds as well. Dealing with the thumb injury tonight didn't seem to faze him too much.
No, it didn't, and they wanted to establish him in this game, and they did that. He made it easier for the other guys around him. He's a guy that's also unselfish, so when he was doubled, he gave it up, but really, Santa Clara has had no answer for the bigs tonight, in particular Zach Collins. He was equally as impressive down low for the Zags.
Collins 2 rebounds away from a double-double. He's got 13 points, 8 rebounds. For as balanced as this team is, they've only had 2 players, Nigel Williams-Goss and Jonathan Williams, record double-doubles this season. So if Collins were to get it, or if Perkins were to get 2 more assists and get a double-double, that would be just the 3rd player for Gonzaga this season to record a double-double.
They share the ball. It's simple as that. Right now, they're at their season average, 17 assists in this game. Very rarely will you see them come down and one guy just going off trying to go one-on-one. There's excellent ball movement, there's unselfish play, and that's why they're so difficult to guard. You just don't know who to guard. They can go down low again, we've talked about this, but their 3-point shooters on the perimeter really just make it impossible for you to guard the spacing that they have.
Cratch on the other end for Santa Clara with the left hand as Nelson misses for Gonzaga. Wardlow will go to the line as a foul on the Zags underneath. Big lead for Gonzaga. We're starting to see some bench support and some freshmen come in to get some minutes as the Zags are up 77-45. These girls came prepared 24-0. The ink isn't even dry on tonight's game. They've already flipped the digits. Gonzaga officially just 23-0 right now until they finish off the final 4 minutes of this one. The question is this Gonzaga's year? They still searching for their first trip to the Final Four.
Yeah, I believe this is the year for them to get to the Final Four. I just think because of their defense first and then the balance they have on the offensive side, I would say yes, they are a Final Four team and a potential national champion.
Gonzaga handing it to Santa Clara tonight. The kennel has been packed all day, as we mentioned earlier. Fans camping out outside. It's been freezing here in Gonzaga. Snow on the ground. It snowed all last night. I don't know how these guys did it in the tents outside the McCarthy Athletic Center.
Well, I was talking to them before the game, and they're like typical college kids. Oh, it was good. We had tents out there, and
they were probably out there in shorts and T-shirts.
But what a great environment this has been, and an impressive performance by this Zags team. Right now in this game, 4 players in double digits.
Tilly flying into the lane, and the freshman, Killian Tilly, now with 8 points in just 12 minutes of action. Fagan falls. Tilly comes out with the ball. Finds Hachimura, good hands for Rui, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Hachimura, a guy that Coach Few considered maybe redshirting this season, but has shown a lot of progress and appeared in now 19 games this season and has a long, bright future ahead of him here with the Gonzaga program. Start your Super Bowl Sunday with our next NBA Sunday Showcase game presented by Verizon Go 90. Blake Griffin and the Clippers take on Isaiah Thomas and the Celtics at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown. Sage and Jalen will have the action at 1:30, presented by Straight Talk Wireless live on ESPN app and watch ESPN.
I love watching Isaiah Thomas play. How about the numbers he's putting up? And coming into the league, everybody doubted him. How many teams would love to have him as their point guard?
Well, so let's try to tie it into this game, okay? So we got Isaiah Thomas for the Celtics. You already mentioned James Harden because he was a former player for Coach Herb Sendek here with Santa Clara. Do you think the MVP race in the NBA is between those two guys?
Yeah, and I know LeBron gets a hard time, and rightfully so, he gets. But if we're going off who is the most valuable player in the NBA, I'm going with LeBron all day. I'm sorry, he's just that good, and I think he's the best player in the world.
Tough to argue with that. Isaiah Thomas has his Boston Celtics second seed in the East. Brad Stevens will be coaching the Eastern Conference All-Stars this year. So make an argument for Isaiah, who I believe had another 38 points last night. Under 2.5 minutes to play here in Spokane. Hauser is fouled, and they will count the bucket for Matt Hauser, sophomore guard out of Thousand Oaks, California.
Well, as we look forward with the Zags, but just big picture for the West Coast Conference, they've made some big hires. Now you look at it, Mike Dunlap at LMU, Terry Porter at Portland, Damon Stoudemire at Pacific, and then Herb Sendek, a guy who's been around, has had success at NC State. We talked about it, Coach James Harden at Arizona State. Watch out. There's some teams that I think are going to be building towards getting to the level that Gonzaga and Mark Few have gotten to. And I think it's better for everybody around when you have top to bottom balance with all the teams doing well.
Walk-ons and reserves now in the game for Gonzaga. Akil Douglas getting some action for the Broncos. This is Rem Bakamis, the walk-on. Rem and Shemek Karnowski, the two players on this Gonzaga team that were on the squad in 2013 when they were ranked #1. And Rem, we were talking to him at shoot-around. Rem's got the man bun. That's his hairstyle, right? You see it right there. He is, at the end of the season, going to be cutting the man bun for cancer fundraising. So a good job by him for a goofy haircut, maybe turning out to be a good cause for raising some money for cancer.
Absolutely. I couldn't do that right now because I don't have any hair. Back in the day, I had a little high top fade, but what a great cause for him to be doing that for. And that's one of the things that Mark Few talks about, how he's proud of this team, the work they do in the community. And certainly he's a prime example of that.
And Rem is a great guy. Both him and Shemek have been a part of some great teams here with Gonzaga. Refs going to the scorer's table just to make sure the substitutes who are coming in for both teams are all checked in properly. We're starting to learn some new faces for both of these teams as guys getting action that haven't gotten action all season long. For Gonzaga, Malcolm, we talked about it. Obviously, you have the starters, but the pipeline of what comes next is also there as well, with a guy like Rui Hachimura, who is a guy who comes over from Japan, doesn't speak hardly any English before coming to Gonzaga, has really worked not only on learning the game of basketball, but learning the language, the culture as well. We heard a great story. He was in the academic advisor's office earlier this season. And as we get an explanation here from our referees. Malcolm, you got the explanation there as we get.
So we have a administrative technical.
Okay.
Number 20 for Santa Clara is not in the books. And the ref came over and said, look, we hate to do it, but by rule, we must call the technical. And he gave me a little smile. And I have now had 2 firsts in a game. I've had somebody block a shot with their back turn and an administrative technical. This guy, they didn't even put him in the books.
Administrative technical. It's a day of firsts. It's a day of firsts for us here in Gonzaga. I will finish my Rui Hachimura story. He was at the academic officer's office, and she had a box of sugar cookies. And he looked at him, he said, what are these? And she said, they're sugar cookies, Rui. He'd never seen them before. He said, can I have one? She said, sure, you can have a sugar cookie. Takes a bite, eyes light up, and he grabs a handful and walks out the door.
I tell you, Mark Few's got some great stories about this team. And again, he really, coming into the season with all the new faces, everybody assumed that it was going to be, business as usual, but he really did not know what to expect coming into this season. So certainly he's got more stories like that, and he cannot be more proud of how these guys have come together as a unit and shared the ball and played together.
Under 2 minutes now in regulation. It's Gonzaga marching to what will be their 24th win of the season. A perfect regular season so far for the Zags. Their next test will be on the road at LMU February 9th. And then it's college game day on the road at St. Mary's on the 11th. As Will Burkett. And the reason he's not in the books is because he's wearing a different jersey number. In the books, he's listed as number 21. So he's somehow has switched jerseys, and they have not updated their lineup. Dustin Triano for 3, and that will get the kennel going.
Well, this place has been loud and on fire the whole game.
And nobody's left.
No.
Nobody has left. Everybody still in their seats behind us. Shemek and O. Oh, no, 24 and O. As Shemek Karnowski and the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Yes, that's right. #1 in the nation. Longest winning streak in program history. Rui Hachimura muscling it up, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
Well, it's been impressive start to finish for this Gonzaga team. And, this fan base, really, again, you got the students camping out the night before, and it was snowing hard. This was by no means a little, snowflakes dropping down. It was snowing pretty hard last night in Spokane, and these students were out there and ready to get behind their team tonight.
Nigel Williams-Goss did not play in this one. Rolled an ankle on Thursday against BYU. And yet even without their leader, Williams-Goss, this team, a monster win, 90-55 right now for the final 20 seconds. As Santa Clara still trying to press on. And a whistle on the Zags. Moaning and groaning of the fans here. They're ready to get on with their Friday night.
Yeah, they're ready to sit down. They've been standing the student section. But Eric, it really, start to finish, has been an impressive performance by Gonzaga. And for me, again, yes, the offensive numbers are there. They put up 90 points today. Yes, the assists are there. But for me, the reason why they are a legit #1, and I think are going to remain that way for the rest of the season, is because of their defense. They make it really difficult for you to run your offense. They contest every shot. and then offensively, they execute to perfection.
Defense holds Santa Clara to just 55 points, and 12 scorers march to 90 total for the undefeated Gonzaga Bulldogs. 24-0 on the season. Santa Clara falls to 13-12. Gonzaga will go on the road at LMU, and then next Saturday against St. Mary's for College Game Day. For Malcolm Huckabee, I'm Eric Rothman saying so long from Spokane. Gonzaga wins it 90-55. Now let's send it to College Basketball Live. Gentlemen.